Hi everybody, it's Jenn from McCreath. Sunday, July 25th, 2021. Just read a news article about a young lady in Nova Scotia. What's her name here now? Robin Ingraham. Wants to run for the Liberals, or intended to run for the Liberals in the upcoming provincial election. Applied to be a candidate, filled out the forms. Something I can relate to. We just had an election here in Newfoundland earlier this year. And the parties want you to fill out these lengthy forms. It's kind of new, this concept of vetting candidates. When I grew up and my dad was going through politics, they didn't have to vet social media because it didn't exist back then. Now it seems to be the number one concern. Not, are you capable of doing the job? Do you believe in what the party stands for? But what did you say on Twitter 15 years ago that somebody might dig up and throw in your face? So they vet you. They ask you questions, hypothetical questions, potential questions. Do you have any enemies? And have you ever said anything controversial? Have you ever done anything controversial? I believe that the vetting process that I went through as a candidate I went for the NDP, the NL NDP here. I think it was 30 pages long. It took me 9 hours. And I was a little bit taken aback. Talk about the latent lack of privacy. If you want to be a candidate in this election, you got to spill the beans on anything and everything, your deepest, darkest secrets. Is there anything that could potentially come out into the open and embarrass you and embarrass us? And we want to know what it is, even if it's 99% chance this won't happen. So I told them anything and anything. I was digging back deep into my life. I have enemies that I haven't seen or heard from for 25 years. But just in case, I put that on the list. And they have a vetting team that looked through these papers of all these candidates. 30 pages long. It took them 3 or 4 days to get through mine. And they said, you know what? Yeah, you've got a lot on there, but we don't think there's any deal breakers. You're in. You're a candidate. Congratulations. Go start your campaign. And I assume that's what happened to our friend here, Ms. Ingraham. Let's put the camera on her. That is her right there. Robin. And apparently she was told the same thing. Okay, I'm telling you up front, I've done this, I've done that, I run this type of business. When I was younger, I took these type of pictures and I put them on this type of social media. And they're all like, yeah, no problem, no problem, no problem. Ooh, well, yeah, okay, no, we don't think that'll be an issue. Sometimes these vetters get it wrong. I guess it depends on who your vetters are and what they're looking for. Turns out the vetters are not at the top of the food chain because in both my case and Robin's case, someone higher up in the party came in and overrode the vetters. The vetters said you're good, but guess what? We're going to say no. So after she was approved as a Liberal candidate, somebody else who has power and authority said, oh no. She took a boudoir photograph and that's not good for our party, not good for our image. We want her out. Shh, I haven't told anyone this, but the NDP were going to do the same thing to me. Turns out there's some of those enemies that I made mention of are in the NDP party. Can you imagine that? And it wasn't so much that what I said or did was a problem, it's that they saw an opportunity to exploit Jennifer McCreath and try to get me kicked out of the party because they just didn't want me on the ballot. Imagine that. NDPers would rather run an empty slate than a full slate if there's people they don't like. And poor Robin, I guess, gave in to these demands, and they asked her to step down and provide a false reason, blaming her own mental issues or illnesses, something along those lines. I stood up to the NDP and said, you realize these two people are just far left trolls, basically. And if you really think I should come off for this, I think you're going to shoot yourself in the foot because you've already just lost a candidate. I'm going to stay on the ballot. You can disown me if you want, but I'm staying. And they said, well, if you're staying, we're going to go with it. And we reached an agreement, and away we went. And the issue was generally ignored. Yes, I made a tweet about Wuhan, China being the place that COVID started, because that was the news we were hearing. COVID came from Wuhan, China. Apparently I'm a terrible person, I'm a racist and all those things, but most media outlets realized that that was just 2 or 3 trolls, and the story went away. Now it's the opposite for this Nova Scotia situation. People are like, you disqualified her just because she took a boudoir? I don't even know what a boudoir was. I had to Google it. Something to do with bedroom lingerie outfits, I guess, that she had posted somewhere and actually charged people money to look at. That might have been the bigger issue. You're selling your body for sexual, not necessarily sexual purposes, but for photographical. Bottom line, this, you think the Liberals would be more okay with that, and maybe more of a right-wing leaning party might say no. But I guess she just couldn't take it. She said, you know what, I told you I stepped down because I had mental issues. No, that's not true. I was actually demanded and asked to do this. Robin, I wish you would have stood up to these fuckers. Yeah, I'm going to call them fuckers. And I'll call you fuckers too, NDP. You put me through a lot of hell, and you deserve to be called out for this. You have a vetting team, you put someone on a ballot, you fucking stay with them. You don't pull them off a day later because someone somewhere doesn't like you. So if you're watching this, everyone, I don't want this to be about me. I want this to be about Robin. Robin, you're a strong woman. I appreciate that you're stepping up to the plate and getting involved in politics. I'm sorry you've had to have your name slandered and thrown out there like a piece of garbage. If you want to take boudoir photographs and post them on Instagram, go right ahead. I don't necessarily want to see them, or definitely don't want to pay to see them. That's really not my kind of thing, but hopefully just getting young women interested in politics. We keep hearing this. We need more women, we need more young people, we may need more diverse people. We need more people from unconventional. It's too many doctors and lawyers in politics, mostly lawyers. Why not have somebody that takes photographs for whatever? We got to stop this bullying and this bullshitting. Because unless you're 80 years old, pretty much every candidate out there is going to have a history. People use Facebook, they use Twitter, they use all these other ones. I don't. Instagram, TikTok, MySpace. Does anyone use that one anymore? Sure, we are documenting our lives. It's a lot easier than it was 30 years ago to share photos or videos or to express your opinions. But we got to remember, nobody's perfect. Ian Rankin, the Premier of Nova Scotia, came right out and admitted he got caught twice drinking and driving, once convicted, I believe. Our Prime Minister has gotten himself into a lot of hot water over things he's done in the past, including blackface makeup. Why is it okay for men but not okay for women? Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that, and back to the NDP. I'm not going to tell the whole story here. There's more to be told. We know who some of these trolls are because they were seen publicly posting on a Facebook group. But we also know that there are others within the party that don't like me and tried to sabotage my campaign. But we're going to save that for another video. But for now, I'm still on Team NDP, begrudgingly. I'm starting a new job tomorrow, right here in Newfoundland, in the public service. So the muzzle will be going on. Jennifer, what do you think about this? I'm going to be saying, no comment. I'm going to go beyond, or I'm going to stay below the radar. I'm out of politics for a while. I might technically still be a member of the party, which will probably get me an invite to the next convention if we ever have it. But I will not be commenting on politics for a while now because I'm focusing on this new job, and I don't want to find myself in conflict. I don't want anyone accusing me of conflict of interest. It's well known I don't support the Liberals. I ran against them in the last election, but this is a non-partisan public service job. I will be doing information management work in a record center. I will be taking paper and putting it into folders and putting it on a shelf, putting a label on it, a number, a letter. Then I'll be going to computer and I will be entering metadata. Really exciting stuff, folks, but you know what? It's a job. It's better than nothing. I'm going to go into it with a smile on my face, but unfortunately this means I'm going to be taking a sabbatical from commenting on politics, so this could be it for a while, but let's talk about this. Here we are, trying to get more people in politics, more diversity in politics, and the Liberals of Nova Scotia are supposed to be so out and open, are throwing out a girl because she took a photo, God forbid, in her, what do you call it? Negligee or something, I don't know. Whatever. You suck, Liberals. And you suck, Liberals, at all levels. I hate to say that. The last pop I'm going to put in here, get rid of Trudeau, get rid of Rankin, get rid of Fury. Any election coming up, get rid of them. Vote for someone else. Vote NDP, vote PC, vote anybody but Liberal. St. John's, you got an election coming up here too. Please throw those goddamn brutal incumbents out. Every last fucking one of them. Please vote them out. Don't make me run again. Well, we'll get to that if it happens. Probably won't run, but you never know. All right, I'm rambling. Enough of that. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.